Hey, hey.
Well. Good evening, John.
Good evening, Ben. It's good to have you back, mate. Cheers.
It's kind of good to be back, pissing it down with rain yet again. But hey, we'll get through. We'll make it through, as they say. How are you, man? How are you?
Tired, mate. I'm tired.
I'm absolutely shattered. I feel like I need a holiday from the holiday.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, you know what it is. Rob Bruce says, "Hey, welcome back, Ben. Raining here in South Wales. Well, raining here in the southeast as well. I can tell you that much."
Yeah.
I'm feeling the love in the chat tonight. I really am.
Aren't you just?
I am. Can you feel the love? Yes, I can. So, it's going to be a bit of an interesting one, a bit of an interesting show because I've actually pretty much stayed off the news all week.
Okay.
I went away, and usually when I go away, I bring the studio equipment with me, and we still do a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I immersed myself in the holiday with my family, and just completely shut off. So I'm going to need you to hold my hand as you guide me through this
Yeah.
Friday night show, John.
Well, to be fair, mate, nothing much has changed. We're still on the brink of nuclear Armageddon.
Well, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
about it.
Well,
Okay, good night. It was nice seeing you all.
okay.
Bye.
Okay. Oh, dearie me,
Hey.
dearie me.
Oh.
Uh, um, Vaughn's trying to be funny. I think he's trying to make a joke in the chat. There, he says, "Welcome back, Chaz. I mean Ben."
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Ha ha ha.
Vaughn tries to be
He
funny quite a
tried.
lot.
He tried. Bless him. He tried.
He tries to be funny. Yeah, he's very
Yeah.
trying.
I mean, yeah. So yeah. Anyway. Oh, Shalimi says it's good to do that, Ben. I know it is. Well, the thing is, like I say, when I normally go away, I just don't shut off, and I keep reading, and I'm very distracted. We actually ended up having a better family holiday for it, for me actually shutting off.
Well, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Can I ask you something though?
Mm.
And I don't, I don't want this to be taken with offence or personally, but did you have a lot to eat?
Surprisingly not.
What's happened? Your face seems to have bloomed.
I ate wheat.
Oh, you shouldn't be doing that.
It makes me very puffy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you are.
And I had
puffy.
wheat for dinner as well. I really do need to start going gluten-free because I definitely have a wheat intolerance.
Well, I thought we kind of established that like months ago.
Yeah, we did, but going gluten-free is really fucking expensive, and I'm really
Whoa.
fucking poor.
It's not. It's not for you because you don't just switch back to carnivore. That's what you normally eat anyway.
I think that's probably going to happen, yeah.
Yeah. Just do carnivore. So you've got a nice small bottle of Coke there.
Just... And before people go, "Oh, that's the diet caffeine-free stuff because it's gold." No, it's not.
No.
It's the full sugar vanilla stuff from France.
Does that have high fructose corn syrup in it, or is it just sugar?
No sugar.
Okay.
Sucre.
Sucra.
Yeah, just a small one.
Oh, I don't know. I've probably got. Tony says wheat intolerance is not nearly as bad as religious intolerance. I think we both kind of have a kind of religious intolerance, i.e., we don't really have much time for people that have, that go mad for it. Of any religion,
That's a bit of a simplification because I have time for people that believe in religions. I do. I just don't have time for people who want to shove their religion down my throat.
Yeah, that's.
I think it's a big difference.
That's better phrased, Ben. Thank you. You've phrased it much better. I've missed you. People will have been getting it wrong all week because I've been telling them the wrong things.
Have you really?
No, not really. Hey, I don't think so. I mean...
Well, I don't know. I haven't been here, so I haven't been here to keep it. But John, Daddy's home now, and it's all good.
I just find it. I just find it a bit strange when you say that, considering you're like half my
I
age.
was waiting for you to say that.
But anyway, I tell you what, I'm going to start. I'm going to start with, and the first thing I wrote down, and I wrote this down last Tuesday, and I used it on Wednesday's show, and I'm going to say it again now, right? Especially in light of what you just sent me. Who are they?
That's a very good question, and it's one that I genuinely do not have the answer for. And I'm going to be completely honest with you people. If somebody on the social medias tells you that they know who they are, they're lying to you.
Yeah.
Because they know just as little as we do. And let's face it, all they're doing is hazarding a guess. Now, is their guess correct? Possibly. But nobody knows for sure who they
if they
are.
exist.
Well, yeah, if they exist, or if they themselves are not one massive fabrication.
Well, you know, I mean, I've got a lot of time for Mark Giese, and he kind of keeps you on the straight and narrow, I think, with a lot of his thoughts. And he's been on the show, what, 4 or 5 times? Something like that?
Yes, I think we should clarify, because Rob Bruce says in the chat, what are we talking about? So what we're talking about is when somebody says, well, they want to do this, and they want to replace us, and they want to do this, that, and the other. Who is the they?
Yeah, who are
they? Who are the they?
And I've said it in a few tweets. I've said if you want to talk about they, then you should declare in the tweet who they are, rather than just saying
I agree.
They. You know, I mean, because I don't know who you're talking about. So, I mean, it's like 1 minute people jump from Bill Gates to Klaus Schwab's to Emmanuel Macron to Jacinda Ardern. They're all over the place. They just jump all over the place, and they tell them all with the same brush. They say they, and it doesn't really work like that. I don't think. I mean, I know Klaus Schwab's famous speech about penetrating all the cabinets and all this.
We have penetrated the cabinets. Oh, yes, penetrated the cabinets.
It really, I still think in general terms, they're not working for Klaus Schwab's. These people are working to their own ends, you know. And while they may have been swayed by Klaus and their Davos meets and things like that, I think they think they're genuinely doing good. And this is the problem, because people that think they're genuinely doing good are dangerous.
Of course. And people will do evil for good reasons.
Yeah, exactly. But it still makes it evil. That's the point that we're trying to make. Even if you did evil for all the right reasons, you still did evil.
You still did evil.
Yeah.
And that in turn still makes you evil. And that you know what? Speaking of evil, when we've got over 3 times the viewers that we do likes, I'm starting to feel not loved. I will say that.
God, he's started already. I haven't mentioned.
I've started already. I've started.
The audience has.
I'm back.
They've not been.
Daddy's back.
They've not been hassled at all for the last week. Right, Vaughn. I disagree. Because these people are not the same as they. Because this they thing covers an elusive, secret group of shadowy government people that are trying to do bad things to you, right? But nobody ever says who they actually are, you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, my answer for you is there is obviously, you know, when we can break it down to individual. We can sort of break it down to individual interests, I guess, because there can be they behind a certain interest or a certain sort of topic, whereas I don't think that there is an all-encompassing they that controls everything like this. And I could be wrong.
Hydra.
But I certainly... But I certainly think that
it has tentacles everywhere.
There are interest groups, there are NGOs, there are non-profits, there are elites, if you want to call them that, who certainly have a finger in the pie of an interest or whatever their wheelhouse is or their interest. But I mean, you can talk about the Klaus Schwabs, and he certainly is a they. in certain circumstances, right? Him and the World Economic Forum. A example in the chat here from Harold Owen Jones. Him and the Guardian are they are a gatekeeper in certain interests and in certain aspects, right? That's my view of it. If you really want to take it that way,
I don't think you can. I don't think you can say the Freemasons or the Illuminati. One, we know the Freemasons as an organisation, but I don't think. I really don't think it's as powerful as you think it is these days.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Once again, it's just not something that I'm versed in. It's not something that I'm researched in, and it's not something that I can personally, confidently put credit in saying. But if people want to believe that or say that or think that is the case, that's not me. That's not me denigrating those people. I'm saying I don't know. Now, that's a point that I've tried to make, and I'm going to make it. I know it's first show back in a week, but I want to make this point. It is okay to say that you don't know something. Mm-hmm. So instead of doing what many of your social media quote unquote heroes do, I know everything. My name's Ian Miles Chong, and I know absolutely everything, and I'm an expert in this, that, and the other. Just say you don't know.
Yeah.
Because, for the most part, we don't know. Anywho, what else have we got? We got some answers here in the chat, which I'm not going to read out purely because if I do, censorship gods might get angry. But you can all read for yourselves and discern for yourselves whether or not that's the case. And, I'm not saying it's not the case.
Each one have got their own interests, but they don't necessarily coincide.
Well, exactly.
So anyway,
exactly.
So let's move on. Let's move on to actual news. Yeah?
Actual news. Ooh, actual news.
So
give it to me.
What would you say? Top Tory MP arrested for rape, apparently. And this was...
yes.
Go on.
Who is this?
Well, we don't know.
I did sort of... No, we do know because he's actually said... Yeah. I saw this yesterday. Now, I'm going to do some fact-checking on the fly here, people. So give me a second.
Because it was one of Sydney's tweets that I saw, and she had broke the story. But I don't know if that was the case or not.
Yes, okay, so Tory MP Crispin Blunt arrested on suspicion of rape and possession of drugs.
Well, it said top Tory MP. He's not a top Tory. Who the hell is he? Who's Crispin Blunt?
Crispin Blunt. Crispin Blunt.
Who's Crispin Blunt?
Well, he's a Tory MP of some kind, John.
I don't know this chap from Adam.
Well, I've never heard of him. I'm not going to lie. I've never heard of him.
So I think I don't think he's a top Tory MP then. Pardon me.
Well,
Chaz is fine.
Yeah.
I can
see Chaz.
Yeah, I know. I thought Shalini not. Have you not got your glasses on tonight, Shalini? I mean, there's Chaz front and centre as well with his mask on.
Yeah, there he is down the bottom there.
Yeah,
but yeah, no. I've got no idea who Crispin Blunt is, but he has voluntarily admitted that he is the MP that has been arrested. So, whether or not, well, rape and possession of drugs, not a good look, is it?
Oh, no. Especially if you're admitting that it was you that's... Well, I don't know if he's admitted the charges, but... I don't think
he has. I don't think he has admitted the charges, no, but he's admitted that he is the one that has been arrested. So I think we'll have to keep an eye on it because I can have a look, see if there is any update on the story. It doesn't appear to be. He was once... He was once in the papers because he defended convicted sexual abuser Imran Ahmed Khan, and he said that he said Imran Ahmed Khan's prosecution and conviction was a miscarriage of justice. This was Crispin Blunt who said this.
Vincent says to Shalini, "Are you
okay? So I can now read you.
Well, I was speaking. I was
okay,
reading.
I can't see the chat.
I was reading something from the chat, and you
Okay.
You started already. You started already riding roughshod over me. It was good. Chaz doesn't do this anyway. So Beats and Tapes says, Shalini, are you mates with him? I've never heard of him.
Right.
Right, now you can
read. Oh, God.
Go on.
So this is from Crispin Blunt himself on Twitter. So he says, it has been reported that an MP was arrested yesterday in connection with an allegation of rape. I'm confirming that MP was in fact me. The fact of the arrest requires a formal notification of the Speaker and then my Chief Whip. I have now been interviewed twice in connection with this incident, the first time 3 weeks ago when I initially reported my concern over extortion. The second time was earlier this morning under caution following arrest. The arrest was unnecessary as I remain ready to cooperate fully with the investigation that I am confident will end without charge. I do not intend to say anything further on this matter until the police have completed their inquiry. So he's saying he went to the police first.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
Oh, no.
To report that somebody was extorting him.
He didn't mention Dan Wooten.
So that's a bit of a different story, though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, that's completely different. Yeah. Yeah. I was watching one of these kind of true crime things about this biker guy who'd been arrested by the police because he'd taken someone away and disposed of him, right? But he'd been arrested by the police, and the police were trying to interview him without him having a lawyer present, by asking them questions about things. And all he would say was, hold on a minute, I don't even know why I'm here. You haven't told me why you're questioning me. And then he would say, I'm not going to tell you. But what I will tell you is the story that you're telling me right now is completely wrong. And they would go, well, why don't you help us out? And he goes, I'm not here to help you out. I'm not a cop and I'm not a rat. It was quite good. You end up rooting for the bad guy, you know, because the cops are so incompetent. Yeah.
Oftentimes, yeah. Yeah, no, oftentimes you do end up... some of these police interviews are actually really quite amusing.
Some of them are.
I watched one. I watched some body cam footage the other day. Yeah. A 15-year-old boy absolutely schooling a police officer on... Oh, I saw that. On laws, on rights, on... Well,
that was the one...
was to do with a petrol motorbike.
Yes, a gas bicycle.
Yeah.
Yes, it wasn't a motorbike. It was a gas-powered bicycle.
Yes,
because it was under 50cc, and he was legally allowed to have it and legally allowed to ride it.
Yeah,
and his neighbour had caused all sorts of consternation, and his dad got lifted by the cops illegally going into his house after him, and then the kid just took them to task, which was quite good.
He did. He did.
Did you see the woman who got arrested by? I'm going to call her schoolmarm cop, because she's got glasses on. She's probably in her late 50s by the looks of things, and she's talking to one of these women that stands near a. I think we're allowed to say abortion centre, are we?
You must be able to.
Yeah, I mean, she stands near one of these places that's got a. I can't remember what the protection order's called, but you're not allowed to go there, and you're not allowed to silently pray. And that says the UK.
Yeah,
that says the world we live in. You cannot stand within the protection zone of this. And
this say a location. Prayer within your own head.
Yep. And I mean, even if your lips don't move, but you're praying. So anyway, she started questioning this woman. She had what appeared to be like a large type flowchart, because it was like an A3 sized, and she's standing there going, "So, why are you here?" "Well, I'm just standing here." Are you a member of a Christian group? It's just like that. Huh? Well, I am, but there's nothing to do with why I'm here, you know? So,
Well, but still, what business is that of yours?
well, she ends up getting charged. Or, well, she got a fixed penalty for praying outside in a protected zone.
I would have simply said, I don't answer questions.
That's exactly it, Ben. That's exactly it.
I don't answer questions.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't answer questions. We need to know. No, you don't.
Actually,
No, you don't.
You don't even say you're sorry, because that can be taken as an admission of guilt. What you say is...
Are you suspecting me of a crime? Yeah. What crime? Oh, what's that? You're suspecting me of a thought crime? Let's see if we can get that through court, shall we? Anyway, I don't answer your questions. Yes and no, because this would be a literal thought crime if you said I don't answer questions.
But the legislation is a literal thought crime legislation.
It is, but you have to slip up. You have to self-snitch.
Yeah, you do. You do. So all you need
have
to
to
say
self-snitch and say, yes, I am saying a prayer.
No, I'm not. I'm just here. And
what are you doing here? I'm just chilling out.
Oh, no, you don't even say. Well, I don't think that's any of your concern.
No, it's none of your business.
Yeah.
None of your business. The police officers in this country think they've got many powers that they simply do not have. And we are getting better in the courts for them being taken to task and actually being held to account. Ever since Sarah Everard, and unfortunately it took something like that for police officers to actually start properly being held to account for at least the most egregious things. I'm pretty certain that's why my case keeps getting delayed, because they have absolutely no idea how to defend it, because they can't.
They didn't exactly start from a position of strength, did they? No, and now I'm into 2024. It'll be nearly 2 years since they assaulted me. And then it will move again. Okay. Right. Shall we move on?
But, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so the US has actually made some airstrikes in Syria.
Have they?
Yes, they have struck at sites that they say were being used to attack its military bases using drones supplied by Iran. So they've made these strikes, and there are a number of questions I have for the US. One, if you're only defending yourself, why are you 6,677 miles away from America? Right? How big a buffer zone do you need? Two, who invited you to Syria? Because the present government didn't.
Israel.
Right. Secondly, why are you stealing Syria's oil? You know, I think these are valid questions, are they not?
I tend to agree. I think they are valid questions. Obviously, the US are in the region at the moment, and so they're probably taking the opportunity whilst they're there to bolster their interests in the region, shall we say?
Yeah, probably. So, of course, with that, what's his name? Lloyd Austin. He made the the admiral, the secretary, the chair of Joint Chiefs or something like that. So he made some sort of mad statement about it. But really, America's in a kind of weird situation here, because I don't think they can really do anything. I mean, they're posturing with their massive battle groups and carrier battle groups, but everybody knows it's just a posture now, because everybody knows that Russia, China, and Iran have got hypersonic missiles that work, and they've been proven to work.
Have you seen the posters that have gone up in Iran picturing Tel Aviv being destroyed by hypersonic missiles?
Well, no, I haven't.
So they've put up posters in Iran that say it's just a certain amount of miles for our hypersonic missiles to reach Tel Aviv, and these things are massive as well.
Yeah. Oh, and see that.
There's certain.
Go on.
they're certainly making some extremely non-veiled threats, shall we say?
Yeah. Well, see, if one hit a carrier and sank, I mean, let's face it, you could sink a carrier with one of these things.
Oh yeah.
So if you sink a carrier, you're going to get one of two reactions. One, you're going to get either a extreme overreaction from the US, which maybe maybe not. It just depends. Or you're going to get the public and the US saying, cut this shit out and get back home because we don't want to see our boys getting sent home in body bags.
Yeah, they don't want that again. I mean, we don't want that again.
No, we don't.
And I won't name them, but I actually met a lovely family while we were away, and the husband, he's a serving military man, and you know they had a disabled young girl, and she was getting on with our children very well.
Mm-hmm.
And we've actually made friends, and I'm, you know, talking on Facebook and stuff. He might even be watching the show right now because if you are, hello, you know who you are. But it's like people like him. You know, these are people that you get to know. These are people that you get to like, and you don't want to see them harmed. You don't want to see your friends, your family be sent home for a war that ultimately has nothing to do with us. And it really doesn't have anything to do with us, but we will get dragged in by Team America World Police.
This is the bit I don't understand, because we actually don't seem to be getting dragged in. We seem to be leading the charge. It's like we're back to the charge of the Light Brigade. We've got some cocky young officer being lured into a trap, and that cocky young officer is called Rishi Sunak. And he just, I mean, why is he even I mean, okay, we're sending one warship, right? But why are we even sending one? Come on. Let's play the game. Oh, I can't say what I would normally say, but let's play the game here, right? Because we're not a world power anymore. And we need to understand that. We need to accept that.
And
someone said the other night that we are calling the shots and America dances to our tune, right?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Not on our show. This was on Twitter. Imagine saying that and thinking it.
I'm sorry. There are some things that just sound so ridiculous when you hear them that all you can say is "on retard."
On retard.
On retard.
Actually, that's what I was saying the other night, that somebody had come up with something. They'd come out. Who was it? It was one of these. What do you call it? Analysis shows. You know, like us, except worse.
Except worse.
Yeah, because they decided that they were putting out that, you know, Israel wasn't moving on the ground offensive because it wasn't ready yet, and they were waiting for America. And I'm like, well, 2 days ago, Lloyd Austin said, you know, he told Israel not to move because they had to put further assets in place. So it's like, you know, don't try and report something as new when it was out 2 days ago and we'd already reported on it.
So while I've been away, have they actually begun their ground offensive yet, or have they still not done that?
No, they did a kind of we'll do something to show the people that we've done something, right? So they sent like I don't even know if that was a battalion of tanks, maybe a platoon or something, but they sent some tanks in through. They bulldozed a hole in the wall. They sent some tanks in. They had a couple of shooty bangs, and then they turned around and came back out.
Right.
So
what you're saying is, unfortunate, because I'm not going to lie, people. I really wanted to avoid that. Like, I wanted that to not to already have happened before I got back,
No,
because it's gonna be one massive shit show. It really is.
See, it hasn't happened because America needs to get stuff in place. Like, it had to shift, had to shift the 155 artillery shells back from where probably Poland back into Egypt, ready to stage to Israel. So I had to do that. It wants to get its second carrier into the Red Sea, probably, but it's going to take it through Suez, so it doesn't really want to do anything, right, before it gets that carrier out of the Gulf. And I mean, even the Red Sea and the Mediterranean are not, in my view, suitable operating theatres for an American carrier battle group. There's not enough space. You need to be able to run and hide. And to be fair, you can't these days with everything we've got. Satellites, hypersonic missiles, MiG-31s carrying hypersonic missiles. I mean, Russia's S-400, which is probably the most effective air defense system in the world. Yeah, and the people that have got that are Iran and China. So it's I don't think America's as strong as it used to be, but
I have a question.
It's certainly not as capable as it used to be. Go on.
Do you think that the tensions can de-escalate, or do you think there is only one direction of travel?
Right, there's only one way that you can de-escalate this, and it's nothing. It's nothing that Israel's probably going to do, right? Because the only way... So, I mean, let's face it, right? Israel is basically getting condemned worldwide for what a lot of people are... And this isn't a personal opinion, right? What I'm giving you is a detached from emotion analysis, okay?
Okay.
So what you have is you have a terrorist attack on Israel, which probably shouldn't have been able to have happened the way it happened, right? But
see, that's something that I agree with. I agree that probably should not have been able to have happened in that manner.
So there are many questions to be answered there. Then next, you've got Israeli anger, world anger, right? And shock at what happened, right? And then Israel says what it's going to do and does some air raids and fires some missiles back and all that. So at that point, you have, tit for tat type thing. And I'm not going to go into what actually occurred, but at that point, you've got the scene set for a conflict between one group and the other group. Now, Israel has got to the point where people are kind of ganging up against it. They've kind of united Arab countries that don't talk to each other, like Saudi Arabia and Iran don't talk to each other, and yet they're both saying the same thing. So this is a difficult situation that we've not normally seen in the world. So we've got America and the West, which is some of Europe and the UK standing with Israel. And then you've got the big Muslim countries like Saudi, Iran, Turkey standing with not necessarily Hamas, but with Palestine or Palestinians. Now, so Turkey's a member of NATO.
People may have just seen me roll my eyes there, and the reason I did that is because, once again, just taking a dispassionate step back from all of this, the main players involved, obviously Israel and Hamas, or Israel and Palestine, if that's what you want to say, have been at each other's throats for decades.
Oh, yeah.
And ultimately, it boils down to ideology. It boils down to religion and ideology almost every single time.
But let me finish, because we've got Hezbollah in Lebanon, right? Whose stated aim as well is to remove Israel from Palestine, right? So you've got all this coming together now. There's only one thing Israel can do that would defuse the situation, right? And that's to turn around and say, okay, let's call a ceasefire and let's talk, right? But
Hamas won't
no. But this is the point. See, at the moment, Israel is really being viewed as the bad guy, right? Now, if Israel turns around and goes, ceasefire and let's talk, but Hamas has got to talk to us, not through a third party, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly, Hamas becomes the bad guy because they won't do it.
No.
And then, everything switches back to full support for Israel. That's the only way.
The PLO would.
Yeah, but that's the only way I could see that we're going to defuse the situation. I can't see Israel letting this slide, right? And the problem is, when you fight a guerrilla enemy, as the Americans will testify, you find you can't really win because you can't root them out.
What I will say is this: just doing a cursory look into the history of all of it, as I have done over the past few weeks, it is a shit show of utter massive proportions. First of all, they've gone to the table, they've made agreements, and then agreements haven't been made, and then agreements have been signed, and then people have been assassinated for signing agreements, and it's all gone a bit wrong, shall we say.
Yeah.
People want this two-state solution, though I can't seem to, and it's going to sound controversial, but I can't seem to find a state called Palestine that ever existed. There was an area that was colloquially known as Palestine, but it was never a state. And 4/5 of that is in Jordan. 4/5 of that is in what we now know as Jordan. And this is why I say it all boils down to ideology, because you don't see the Palestinians, fighting with the Jordanians all the time. And also, you don't see the Jordanians taking in the Palestinians. They're saying, we don't want you here. Same with the Egyptians. They don't take them in, do they? So this is why it all boils down, in my mind, to ideology, because they're fighting over this area, especially Jerusalem, which seems to contain holy sites for both religions. It doesn't boil down to a state. It doesn't boil down to, this is just my opinion, an outsider looking in. It always comes down to bloody ideology. And until I don't know how to solve this, because this party believes in this sky fairy, so they say that's our holy site for our sky fairy, and this party believes in that sky fairy, and they say no, that's our holy site for our sky fairy. And how do you solve this? I don't think you can.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Like I said, if you actually look at the maps as they were, the area, collectively known as Palestine, which doesn't appear to have actually ever been a state, 4/5 of that area, so the vast majority of that area, is in the country that we now know as Jordan. So why aren't them and Jordan, the Palestinians and Jordan, at war all of the time? Because it doesn't boil down to land, it boils down to ideology. That's just my opinion.
No, I agree. Again, Vaughn, I have to disagree with you. because I'm not really missing that point. Because if you actually look at what's been going on in the Arab and Middle East world recently, Jordan, Iran, even Iran, Jordan and Iran have been at particular pains to try and have better relations with Israel. So
Saudi Arabia.
yeah, Saudi Arabia have as well. So I don't think it's as simple as you're maybe making out there. But what's happened is the Israeli reaction to what's occurred, and you know, I'm not decrying the reaction, because what occurred appears to be horrific. You know, so I can't. If it was my country that was violated in that way, I don't know what I'd be saying. But you know, dispassionately, right? The reaction has united Arab countries that at the moment weren't really talking to each other. So that's
I agree.
That's what's happened there. But yeah, right. Shall we move on?
Well, beats and tapes. Before we do beats and tapes, this is what I have suggested several times on the show. I really have, but maybe not to that extent. But you know, you take the leaders of both organisations, you stick them in a ring, and you have it duke them out in a boxing ring.
Yeah,
you know, winner takes all.
Yeah, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, both Israeli civilians and Palestinian civilians are needlessly dying. They are needlessly dying right now, as we speak. Same with Russians, same with Ukrainians. Needlessly dying in what seems to be a never-ending war. For what? I mean...
Yeah, I know. Right, okay. So a man set himself on fire yesterday morning outside McDonald's in Liverpool. At 5:50 in the morning, this 49-year-old man set himself on fire.
Is he okay?
No, he's dead. He died. He died today.
I mean, I'm not laughing. I mean, that's terrible, man. Why?
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot of explanation as to why he did it. Apparently, the police aren't treating it as suspicious, right? So, I mean, he obviously did it himself. So it's obviously possibly some kind of, you know, he took his own life. But
some kind of self-immolation of some
well,
kind.
we don't know why, and we're not really been told why, and we haven't been told any other details of who it was and why he did it. But hey, I just thought I'd bring that one up since I didn't want to make things too nice. Right, so Scottish...
Bring that up or bring the show down. Jeez.
Scottish Politician of the Year, the Donald Dewar Prize. Nominations are Nicola Sturgeon. Did you know?
Please tell me Peter Murrell's in there. Please tell me Peter Murrell's in there. Please tell me.
He's not a politician. Did you see that she passed her driving test?
Yeah. Now she just got to take the big vehicle, then she can take the motorhome back.
Well, she's she can only drive an automatic.
Oh, same as me then.
Yeah, she passed it in an auto. Yeah, so she can only drive an auto.
Same as me. But mine's for medical reasons. Nicholas is probably because her two little legs probably couldn't work in concert on the pedals.
Just to strap blocks to their feet. Driving with a set of clogs on.
Okay, who's next? Who else have we got?
Right, okay. Well, I don't know. I just thought I'd say basically the nominations. Nicholas Sturgeon's going to win it, so it doesn't really matter who else is nominated, does it?
Is Humza in it? Is Humza in it?
See, I think Humza should be. Well, I actually think Hamza should be in it rather than Humza.
Well, if Humza looks at the judging panel and goes, "They're all white," we might have a bit of an issue.
Well, did you see what Elon Musk said about Hamza? Not
Hamza the racist.
Yeah.
He called Humza the racist that he very blatantly, in my opinion, is.
Oh yeah, I mean it's strange that only now is that whole white speech coming to the fore.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's been over a year.
Hamza's last short did reasonably well, around about 300, I think.
Yeah.
Nothing like the 26,000 views we used to get when I started it. I think they've been throttled. I think Hamza's phoned up and goes, "Hey YouTube, could you stop this clown?"
YouTube, this clown was making me look bad by giving honest interpretations of the things that I say.
Oh
dear. Apparently, there have been fact check articles about how Hamza's speech is not racist.
That's just bull, isn't it? It really is.
Well, because I'll tell you. All right, I've not read a single one of these, right? But somebody tell me in the chat if this is what was said, right? And this is just me putting my mind in the shoes. I'm in the shoes of a mainstream media fact checker. They're going to say something along the lines of, because Hamza Yusuf was speaking on diversity in Scotland, that saying everybody is white and that's a problem is somehow not racist because diversity. Am I right?
Yeah, you're probably right.
I am almost definitely right.
Yeah.
No, Hamza Yusuf, in my opinion, with that speech, at least at that moment in time, is a massive racist.
Did you see Andrew Neil interviewing Ben Shapiro?
I did not.
Oh, you need to watch that.
Is it a car crash?
Yeah. For Ben
I saw
Shapiro.
Piers Morgan.
For Ben Shapiro. He just he's just completely lost it. He has no argument.
Say what you will about Andrew Neil. You know, many people will.
You know, I'm not a great Andrew Neil fan, but he obliterated Ben Shapiro in less than 2 minutes.
Well, Andrew Neil is one of the single best interviewers we've ever had. Piers Morgan is also a very good interviewer. Okay? They might be insufferable people, but they're good at what they do. Yeah,
it was good though. I did enjoy it. I don't know if it was recent.
It's like
it was. They were talking about the current situation. Well, they were talking about the situation, but I don't know if it was the current situation or because they can talk about that situation at any point in any year for the last 50 years. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they can.
Moving on.
Okay, you found it funny.
Well, yeah. So the what was it called? The CCHF. What's the CCHF?
I've no idea. What is the CCHF?
It's something to do with going on holiday.
Okay.
Like the Foreign Office type thing. You know how the health advice they give you when you go on holiday, right?
Yeah.
So they found. Oh no, it's CC. Right, Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever has been found in cows. Well, has been found in ticks, live ticks that they've taken off of cows in south of France, in the on the Oriental Pyrenees, right? So now this fever's been found in Spain before anyway, right? So Spain's right next to this, okay? So yeah, and of course they are claiming that climate change will mean that this could come further forward into more of Europe and the UK. So it kills between 1 and 4 people that are infected with it. There's no vax, there's no cure. You just have to support the person that's going through it, and they'll either live or die. Now the Foreign Office have given us Brits advice if you're going on holiday to that area. Okay,
right.
The advice is avoid tick bites.
How?
Well, first of all, one has to question oneself. So when you go on holiday, right? Do you go? I think I should go out today and be bitten by a tick. I fancy a tick bite.
Don't think that's a... But put it this way, I was in France just yesterday, John. Yeah. Right? I was in France just yesterday, and at no point did I think to myself, while I'm here in France, I'm going to get myself bitten by a tick. Yeah, but
when I was down in the Midi-Pyrenees, right, the dog had a couple of ticks. And at no point did I think to myself, I think I'll go out and I'll put some shorts on and stroll through the long grass and get myself a good old tick bite.
I also did not think the same thing. Whilst we're on the subject of climate change, I would just like to shout out friend of the show, Brent Lee, who last week said, and I quote, it's 19 degrees in October. This isn't normal. Well, it's currently 11 degrees in October and pissing it down with rain.
Hold on a minute.
This is normal.
Hold on a minute. It was 0 here the other day.
Oh,
I had
0.
ice. I had ice on my stairs.
You're bloody freezing in France.
Yeah.
I was wearing a shirt, a vest, a jumper, and a coat. I was cold.
You sound
It
like
was not warm.
You sound like a grandma.
I felt like I'm riding along on a mobility scooter. I felt like a bloody grandma.
Right. So how would it grab you if I said that it was going to cost you $17.33 a gallon for fuel?
I'd say that's bollocks.
Well, apparently, that's what the true cost of recharging an electric vehicle costs you in the States.
Well done. And that's why companies like GM have scrapped production.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And
that's why they're scrapping partnerships with other car companies.
And Mr. Toyota is really being smug right now, aren't they? They're saying things like, it's well seen that people are coming to understand that electric vehicles are not the way to be going.
No.
Because Toyota's never done a full electric.
No, and hybrids are sort of okay.
Hybrids are abysmal, right? So I and hands up. At one point, I had money, and I thought, I'm going to buy an electric car, right?
I've never had money.
Oh, well, I mean, I did. So I thought, I'll buy I bought a Renault Zoe, right?
Just showing off now.
No, just to have an electric car. I thought, I'll buy a Renault Zoe.
Just reminding us permanently poor people that he once had money.
So I bought a Renault Zoe, and I thought, okay, and I took it home, and the heater stopped working. And I took it back, and they fixed it. And then I took it home, and I stopped, and I thought, well, I'll charge it up here at this council charging thing, because it's free. So plugged it in, wouldn't charge. Nothing wrong with the charger. Car wouldn't charge. Took the car home, phoned up the garage, says I'm bringing it back, and I would like my money back, please, because I'm just done. And they said, yeah, okay. So, but while they were fixing the heater, I had a courtesy car from the garage, which was a Toyota Yaris hybrid, which claimed it could do 83 miles to the gallon in normal usage. Right. I monitored what I got out of it in the 2 days that the car was away getting repaired. Right? Mm-hmm. And I got 23 miles to the gallon.
Whereas I'm in a full-blown petrol 7-seating gas guzzler, and I just got to Paris and back on a tank.
Well, I think if I recall, Ben, right, we were driving a 5.2 ton RV, right, around some narrow roads in Staffordshire and Stoke.
We were.
And how many times did we have to stop and refuel it?
We went to the petrol station twice, I think, and that was starting on the south coast.
Yeah. Which isn't bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
We did quite and we weren't hanging about. We were chanking on.
Yep. Well, we were when the motorways allowed it. Put it that way.
Oh, you should.
Because Jesus Christ, near Birmingham.
What a difference now, mate! What a difference now. See, with the new suspension, it's like a different vehicle. It doesn't. You know how it used to lean quite a bit going around the corners. It doesn't lean at all now. And you know how it used
cool.
to go. It used to go bang every time you went over a bump or a pothole. Doesn't do that anymore. It's brilliant. It just goes. It's like a new.
Vaughan says he just had an Audi A3 and did 47 miles to the gallon, and it was nippy too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, hybrids don't work.
Well, like I just said, my gas guzzler just got the Parison back on a tank.
Do you remember when? I mean, I'm not a great fan of Clarkson. He used to be quite funny, but he went. You notice how people they put too much egg on it? I mean, I don't think we've done this yet, right? Maybe in a couple of years. Not yet, but in a couple of years, probably.
When we're desperate.
But they put too much. They just put too much into it, and they start to become real dicks. And I think Clarkson, did at some point. But I remember them once. They tested a Toyota Prius, and they got 17 miles to the gallon out, which is just abysmal. The only problem with Audis is Audi's the new. What do you call it? It's a new BMW.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you drive an Audi, sorry, but you might be a W anchor.
I often swear at them.
Yeah.
Audi drivers. I often swear at them.
They always are.
Especially on the motorway. Oh, look at me. I'm in my little tiny Audi and I'm breaking the speed limits. And I'm going to go faster than you.
Rob Bruce is an Audi. We're alienated in our audience as we speak. I just love it when we get to alienate our audience. Right.
But to be fair, I have a VW, which is an Audi.
It's a VAG.
Just have a different...
It's a VAG. Volkswagen Audi group.
Yep. It just has a different badge on it.
Skoda's just a Volkswagen.
So Volkswagens are just Audis and Skodas are just Volkswagens. They're all the same cars. They've got different badges on them. Yeah. That's all.
Seat's a Volkswagen. I mean, they're all. Seat's a Volkswagen built in Spain by people that don't get paid as much as Germans.
Right.
That's right. Right, here we go. Vaughn agrees with me. And I agree with you, Vaughn. Thank you. And it is. I'll hit you with that.
That's true.
Right. So a recent study has come out with vitamin C, high-dose vitamin C was not effective at treating COVID. And I categorically think that that's probably correct because...
I agree. Why would you...
It should have been... Oh, should I do it the other way around? Is it that way around?
John, why were people treating COVID for this study like it was scurvy?
I know. I mean, let's face it. Well, I think they were maybe thinking that it's the same family of viruses as the common cold, and they kind of thought that vitamin C was good for the common cold. And really, I don't think there's ever been any study that's proven that either.
No, like I said, the only thing high levels of vitamin C is really good for is treating scurvy.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
That's true.
It's true.
It is true. Now, why do you think, ladies and gentlemen, sailors had limes? Sailors had limes because they got scurvy at sea.
And that's why the Americans called us limeys.
That's why the Americans called us limeys. Exactly right. Yeah, because we cared about not getting scurvy.
Yeah, we wanted to keep our teeth.
I mean, can relate.
Yeah. Right.
I must say, I don't have scurvy.
But your teeth aren't in great shape. But
No,
I think
they're not.
That's nothing to do with the lack of vitamin C. I think that's to do with the excess of sugar.
Sugar.
Sucra. Right. Apparently that... Sorry?
I was going to say, the first thing I do, if we ever get a proper wage from this gig, the first thing I'm going to do is go to a dentist.
Go to
I'm
Turkey.
just waiting for the day.
Go to Turkey and get some implants.
No! I'll go to Turkey and I'll come back without a mouth. Oh dear. Those Turkish dentists are basically a scam.
What was it? One of the guys I worked with went on a skiing trip, and it was somewhere like where's Bulgaria? Is Bulgaria in Europe? Yeah, it
Eastern
is.
Europe, yeah.
Yeah. So it was just after the Iron Curtain had fallen, and he went on a skiing holiday to Bulgaria of all places. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was really
Why not?
cheap, really cheap.
Of course.
So he went on a skiing. I mean, he was young. He was only 22 or something like that, and he came back. Well, he didn't come back. So after his holiday, he didn't appear back at work. And we're going, where is he? And he'd broken his leg while skiing. And then eventually he came back to work, and he regaled us with this story. Okay, so when you're in hospital in Bulgaria, it's not the NHS, right? It's worse. So we're setting the scene straight away, right? So the problem was that when you were in hospital in Bulgaria, they really expected your family to look after you. So your family would come and make your bed and change your sheets and all that, provide clean clothing, give you a bed bath if required, and bring you food.
Oh my.
Right, okay. So he was struggling from day one because he had no family in Bulgaria. Right, okay. So he was basically, the other patients were giving him some of their food to keep him alive. And then,
as you do,
then he says to the, he's in traction, so he's got his leg is pulled out in front of him, and it's up. You see it in the old thingy with the leg suspended, so his leg's in traction. So he attracts the nurse after a couple of days and goes, I need to do the toilet. And she came back with a bottle, and he goes, no, I need the other one. And she came back with a shovel, right? And he's going, no, I need to take a shit. And she goes, yeah, you shit and shovel. There you go. Eastern, formerly Soviet hospitality and hospital. There you go. You shit and shovel.
Remind me not to go to Bulgaria on holiday, especially as a disabled person.
I'm sure it's improved.
Perhaps.
Take insurance.
Yeah, well,
insurance. This was what, 98 or something like that. Insurance. Nobody took insurance to go on holiday. Do you remember you used to buy like rail? Did you ever do this? You'd buy like a rail card and you would just travel Europe on a train.
No, I didn't do this.
And I did the same thing in America with Greyhound bus trailways thing. You just buy a bus pass and you can travel anywhere in America for 2 weeks on a bus.
Nice.
I did 25 states in 2 weeks.
I would like to regale you with one of the most important breaking news stories of the last few days.
Go on.
Man found guilty of being a gimp.
No, that's further down the list. That's next.
Well, we're here.
That's the Somerset Gimp.
That is this. He's been trending on Twitter.
Yeah, I know about the Somerset Gimp.
Yeah, but I'm gonna regale them with the full story.
Oh my god, right? You're not as funny as
a man who brought terror to a village in Somerset has been found guilty by magistrates today. Joshua Hunt, 32, dressed up as a gimp and prowled through the streets of Bleeden, causing panic. Dressed up as a gimp. Would that panic you, John?
Ben, you're not getting into the swing of this. You need a little more
Sugar.
I don't know what it is. You need more gravitas. So Lucy
No,
Lodge,
you
Lucy Lodge, one of his victims said he was writhing and crawling as if in a military fashion. I can see
I'm
the person.
picturing it.
I can see the person was wearing very tight, dark clothing and had a mask on their face. The mask was dark and very tight, and 2 white crosses were where the eyes should be. My first thought was it could be a possible abduction, and the person was trying to get me out of my car. If I saw that, my first thought is, there's a gimp. It was terrifying, although I'd only seen them for a few seconds. He was dressed all in black with a shiny black face mask with white crosses. He was face down in a military fashion and writhing and crawling on their belly. Why would she say their belly? The whole incident felt so surreal. Yeah, I put it to you that the incident is surreal because this guy's off his trolley. But having said that, he did admit that. He said that he had issues with his mental health, and that he didn't realise that he was putting people into state of fear and alarm because he was only going mudding. Have you heard of mudding?
I can't say that I have.
So he said that he goes mudding, which is he goes into the estuary, and because he feels like shit, he covers himself in mud.
I thought this might be a sort of dogging sort of thing, but okay.
No. So he goes into the mud and covers himself in mud, and he keeps the clothing in his car because it's only used while mudding. So, so the police, the police saw a white Bedford van reversing. A white Berlingo van in a field which was reversing, and decided to stop it. PC Declan Coppock spoke to the defendant, who was wearing grey trousers and a black hooded top, and arrested him. Well, that's a bit quick. I mean, there must have been more to it than that. You didn't just arrest him. You're wearing a black top. You're arrested. Anyway, I noticed his skin was extremely wet and damp, suggesting he'd been lying on the side of the road. Now, hold on. That's a bit of a stretch. You've got wet and damp skin. You've been lying on the side of the road.
Hold on. I tell you, the officer obviously made that stretch because he knows firsthand what being damp from the side of the road feels like.
Yeah, he's probably a fellow mudder. So anyway, Hunt told him, "I'm not dangerous. I'm a normal person. I've got a few problems." You think?
We've all got a few problems.
Yeah, a search found Hunt was not wearing any t-shirt or any underwear. Commando. Military fashion. And inside his van was a collection of wet black clothing, women's tights, face masks and gloves. There was also neon white... Here we go. There's another stretch here. There was also neon white paint used for drawing on a mask, the court held. How do you know he used it for drawing on a mask? So anyway, Hunt told police during his interview that his mental health had been in crisis over problems with his medication and wanted to take his own life. "I stood in the road because I wanted to kill myself and never intended to scare anyone," he told officers. "I'm crying out for help and need help with my mental health." I think it's a tragedy that this guy has been found guilty of being a gimp. Now, it doesn't actually say what his sentence was.
No, I've not seen that. Maybe he has not yet. Maybe the Somerset Gimp has not yet been sentenced.
They've maybe what would you call it? Sent them for background reports. Yeah.
Yeah, so they probably deferred sentencing, like they did with Alex Belfield. Like when he was found guilty, he wasn't immediately sentenced.
That's true.
Most people aren't, to be fair, in
That's
this day
true.
and age. So we shall have to keep an eye. Rob Bruce says, D of the piece, lol, fine £250, lol, sent on way. But do you know what? At the end of the day, I don't think this man should I clearly don't think he should have been charged with a crime. I don't think he's committed a crime. I don't think he's done anything worthy of being taken to court. Personally,
I think you're right. I think it's a call for help.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's very funny. It is very funny.
But in reality, it's a call for help.
At the end of the day, this guy, I don't think he's actually, in reality, crossed the threshold of criminality. I really, really don't. I mean, we've got 2 local dogging sites in this town. You would think that people going and doing that instead of mudding would be criminalised, but no.
Hey, we've got a Beachy Head story coming.
We got that's not one of the dogging sites.
No, but we've got a Beachy Head story coming. That's down your way.
Well, it's a 10-minute drive from my house.
I know. You showed me it as we drove by it.
I did, yeah. Do you want to see the suicide spot, John?
Shh! Don't say that. Right. Free the Somerset Gimp. Yeah.
I think we should. I think we should start a campaign. Free the Somerset.
Justice for the Somerset Gimp.
Yeah, I agree. Justice for the Somerset Gimp.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If you guys want to, any of you want to send John a gimp mask in solidarity, I'm sure just message him on Twitter.
Why would I need another one? Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud?
He actually has one.
No, I don't.
It's just not black.
Have you got a ball gag?
I want one.
For the wife?
Yeah!
Oh my god. Twitter's getting outrageous these days. Have you seen it?
Well, yeah, it's getting outrageous because it's starting to feel like the Wild West again. It is.
Yeah, but it isn't. Because, I mean, I put another appeal. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Somebody put an appeal on the other day and got completely disregarded again. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to put a funny appeal on the next time. I'm going to say something like, seeking reviewer with GSOH understands Scottish robustness. And see how that goes.
Seeking reviewer with a brain cell would be a start.
No, yeah, I know. Right.
Is that too much to ask?
It's not too. Well, it probably is, mate. It probably is because it's Twitter. So, yeah,
Remember, they've got gender studies degrees.
I saw a diverse guy having relations with a goat. On Twitter.
Yeah.
Uncensored.
I saw this.
Mental.
I saw this. You're right. I'm seeing a lot of hardcore pornography on Twitter.
Yeah, it is a bit out of control.
It is. It's very out of control. But the thing is, he's going to start doing things like OnlyFans through Twitter, isn't he?
Oh, he's gonna. The guy's a clown. He really is. And
they've also.
They've what?
They've also introduced something called Twitter Premium Plus. I saw.
Fuck off. You're getting nothing out of me. Nothing.
If you want the algorithmic boost that they promised us, you have to pay them more.
Get the fuck. You didn't deliver the first time. You're getting nothing more from me. And you know what? It was the other day. He said Twitter's now got video and voice calling. Oh, congratulations, Elon! You've just invented 2020 2010 level technology again. Well done.
What, you made Skype? You put
Yeah.
Skype in Twitter?
Yeah, you made it Skype.
Well done.
Well done. Good job. Good job, Elon.
Well, yeah. Oh, look, I'm testing whether or not you can stream a game through Twitter here. We were doing that 6 months ago. And he's going, oh, this is a revolutionary new thing you can do.
Not.
No, it's not. We were doing it 6 months ago.
I mean, what was wrong with Periscope?
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with Periscope.
Exactly.
Can you hear that?
No, I can see you
Wow,
looking
it is
up.
coming down.
Oh, I heard a little bit, yeah, when you're...
Yeah, it's really coming down here.
Yeah, I can hear it when your noise gate
my.
opens.
Although the leaking appears to have stopped.
Well, that's good. Is it windy,
By
though?
itself.
Is it windy?
Not too windy, no.
Yeah, see, leaking normally only occurs when it's windy. Right, the RAF are considering stripping Carol Vorderman.
I mean, many people have considered that.
No, I mean, sorry, stripping her of her honorary titles because of her anti-Tory tweets. Now, why?
No, I disagree.
Why would the military be involved in politics?
No, first of all, they shouldn't be, and second of all,
You think?
the Tories are arseholes.
Yes, well, they all are, though. They all are.
Yeah, well, I was going to get there too. Don't worry about that. I wasn't going to come out and in support of Keith here. Let's face it. But why? Why? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It just seems like they want to politically posture. They want to get involved in a conversation they have no place being in.
So, moving on. I'm going to bring up the case of Anthony Stallard. It's from 26. Well, it's actually, I think, from 2014, 2015.
I've got a friend with the surname Stallard.
Oh, have you? So this guy,
Yeah.
and I bring it up because we're approaching Halloween. So anyway, a man who pretended to be a ghost by shouting "woo" at mourners in a cemetery has been fined.
Oh, fuck off!
So Anthony Stallard had been kicking a football around in a Hampshire graveyard with a friend while also making spooky noises close to people visiting the graves of their loved ones.
Oh no.
So it wasn't
no,
as if, I mean, initially you'd think maybe there was a funeral going on, fair enough. But no, people were just in the graveyard, right?
Even then, no.
Police were alerted and arrested and charged Stallard, 24, with using threatening or abusive words or behaviour likely to cause distress.
What?
So,
Ooh.
right, so this was 24, let's say this was 2015, so why do we need new laws that make the same thing?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So the incident happened in Kingston Cemetery in Portsmouth. He was fined £35 for his behaviour, as well as been ordered to pay a victim surcharge of 20 quid and court cost him a further 20 quid. What victim?
What victim?
The people that were buried.
Ooh, I want my £20. Ooh.
So, yeah, I mean... So, actually, the police acting like arseholes isn't a new thing.
No, of course it's not. I mean, case in point, you.
How did you know? How did you know? Right. Anyway, you'll read about it. You'll read about it in the book.
Before we move on, if you are enjoying the show thus far or have enjoyed it, then don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that share button, and if you can go further, we would appreciate you going further. There are many options that you can do. You can super chat right here, right now. and that way we will definitely respond to your message. You can become a channel member, or you can use the preferred methods, which are Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/chasing dissent, or indeed Patreon, patreon.com/chasing dissent. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell them.
What are you going to tell them?
We've been monetized since the end of April.
Oh!
And we are now eligible for our first ever YouTube payout. Thanks to your generosity on my music show on Saturday, you've pushed us over the line. You've got us there. Our first £60. Our first 60 whole pounds.
April.
From
May,
super chats and ads.
June, July, August, September, October. It's only 7 months.
Woo! Woo! Thank you very much. But no, we do it. We honestly, we appreciate anything and everything that people support us with. We really do. And we do want to make this bigger, and we can only make this bigger with your guys' help, right? So you guys need to be hitting that like button, subscribing if you haven't already, and sharing, just letting people know these shows are here. Bring people in, your friends, your family, get them to come and have a good time. John's, I'm sure, got one or two more items for us, so let's move back into the show.
Yes, I do. I have two things left. I have a. It's quite a strange one. It was a video I saw today of a bull in a perfectly flat yard. Well, you know, a kind of zoo type setting. So there was this bull in this big flat yard with a tree and a tortoise that was upside down. Right.
Right.
And the bull went over to the tortoise and nudged it until he got it back on its legs. And the people that were watching this were all clapping and saying, yay! And the bull started sauntering over towards them. And then it cut. And I thought, call me cynical if you will, right? But my first thought was, how did that tortoise get upside down in the first place?
Yeah, no, that's a very good question.
So then I thought, that bull is hamming it up for donuts, because the people that were clapping as they panned round, one of them had what looked like donuts, and I think that bull was wanting a donut.
Yeah. Do you know what? Speaking of donuts, we got a local Krispy Kreme that's just recently opened here in the town centre.
Yeah.
And I was having a look at it. They want over 20 quid for a dozen donuts.
Oh mate, I was on Morrison's buying beer or something like that, because that's all I buy.
Yeah.
And the guy in front of me had like 4 donuts. Okay.
Right.
And the woman goes, no, they're not on special. She said they're something like 6 quid each. Krispy Kreme donuts.
Krispy Kreme. Yeah.
And I'm like, and she's like, you know, after he goes, she's like, 20 quid for 4 donuts for his kids. I says, he's off his fucking trolley.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Krispy Kreme donuts are... Actually, Greg's make better donuts than Krispy Kreme.
I've been told this.
It's true.
I've never tried either. I'm not. Okay, this is how rich we are. I've not been able to afford to try either.
Yeah, well, but absolutely outrageous. That kind of money for donuts, it's ridiculous. So
yeah, well, do you know what? Store brand donuts, you know, white ice ring donuts with the hundreds and thousands on, are fine. They're perfectly fine. Didn't we all used to love Dinky Donuts or Diddy Donuts, whatever they were called, from Burger King.
Oh, McDonald's used to do tiny donuts as well. Little mini donuts, didn't they? I used to like McDonald's donuts. We used to go through. We used to go through the drive-through in the police car. Talk about a meme. Coffee and donuts. Did you get
free coffee?
Free coffee and donuts.
Because down here, McDonald's have a deal with the taxi driver. The McDonald's, you know, the one that's close to my house. Mm-hmm. if the taxi driver takes people through the drive-through, they get free coffee and a pastry.
Yeah.
So they're quite incentivized to do it.
See, McDonald's in Sweden, they have they have a great range of cakes, because there's this thing in Sweden called fika, right? Which is coffee and cake, basically. And everybody does it. You go into a garage and you go to get a coffee, and there'll be coffee, and then there'll be all these pastries and things next to it, and you take a coffee and a cake, and you go to McDonald's and you get a coffee and a cake. No wonder
McDonald's in France, we've got the McCafe, haven't they?
Yeah,
and their McCafe is often a separate restaurant.
Yeah, they do, but Sweden beats it. Sweden's way better. Sweden stuff's
I'll tell you what,
better.
The McDonald's coffee in France is better than Starbucks, but then that's not too difficult.
Starbucks coffee's all right, to be fair. I think it's all right. But anyway.
But the McDonald's coffee in France, the McCafe stuff, when in the McCafe shops, because they actually have separate shops away from the burgers and the Happy Meals and all of that. Stuff's really good. It is really good.
I'll tell you whose coffee has gone way down in my estimation. Costa. Well, you mean ever since they were purchased by the Coca-Cola company, John? Yeah. Boom.
The Costa is 100% owned by the Coca-Cola company, and I suspect they put profit over product.
Yeah, I think so. I think they do, mate. Right, so last item on my list, but I maybe have a picture I want to show you, because you might not have seen it, right? So I'll show you that after this.
I do, Harold, I do.
So, yeah, it is now. It is now Vaughan. Yeah,
it is Vaughan. Yeah, Costa is 100% owned by the Coca-Cola company.
Same as that. What's the water? Danone or something? That's Coca-Cola.
Dasani.
Dasani, that's it.
Dasani water is owned by Coca-Cola. Yes.
Right. So, unfortunately, the first British black woman has had her plaque removed. So what do you
mean the first British black woman to do what?
Well, the first ever British black woman was found. Her skull was found in Beachy Head and dated to the 3rd century AD. And there was a plaque. There was a plaque put up in honour of this being the first British black woman, because she was found on the beach at Beachy Head.
Yeah.
Although she may not have been British if she was found on the beach. She may have been. Maybe she came over in a coracle.
Perhaps.
But anyway, turns out she wasn't black.
I know.
A DNA test reveals she was a Cypriot.
Whoops.
Whoa. And yet, they'd gone to this big thing and making a plaque and all that. Right, no, I don't think the first British white person does. Anyway, I'm going to, the people, and I apologise for showing you again, but it was fucking hilarious. So I'm going to show you this, I'm going to show you the Owl Witch, right? So what happened, Ben, was an owl got hold of a child's hobby horse, right?
Okay.
And it seemed to take it to heart, and decided it was going to. Oh, where is it? Where is it?
Oh, he's lost it.
No. Hold on.
Is this a video or a picture?
No, it's just a picture. I had it up yesterday.
Okay.
Right, I'll tell you what. Hold on. Give me 2 secs.
Technical wouldn't be Chasing Dissent without some kind of technical issue.
It wouldn't, mate.
It just wouldn't be.
It wouldn't.
I go away for a week. The whole thing falls apart. Daddy's back to rescue it now.
It's not really technical as such. It's just I thought I'd still had it on my OBS, but you know what OBS is like. You move something and it disappears. Where is it? Where's the Owl Witch?
Come on. I believe in you. I do.
Oh yeah.
Believe in you.
There we go.
Right. Is it
So the owl takes the hobby horse and then it starts flying around with it. That's tremendous, isn't it? That was worth waiting for, mate, wasn't it?
Yes! Yes, it was!
I knew you'd appreciate it. It's a classic.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Is that how we're ending the night?
Yeah, that's how we're ending the night, mate.
We're ending it on the high.
Yeah, we are.
For once, we're going out on a high. We peaked. We peaked.
It's great to have you back, mate. Great to have you back. I've had a good night.
Oh, dearie. I've enjoyed this show. I hope that those of you that have come to watch and indulge and enjoy have enjoyed it too. We will be fully back on form. I think we're on form now, but
Yeah.
we'll be fully back on form on Monday. I might even have glasses by then, because I'm blind as a bat.
Are we doing a Halloween special on Tuesday?
We're going to have to.
Yeah. Oh, there's a new name in the chat. Funk My Star. I like that.
Yeah, of course John's been on the swing. It's Friday night, and the show's called Beer Me.
Yeah. What's the problem?
Of course he's been on the...
You're not going to go all
Come on
like
now.
prohibition on me, are you?
I could do that, yeah. No, I'm back. That's it, John.
That's it, Ben.
That's it, John. You are banned Monday night from drinking. He says no problem.
Well, actually,
I love it.
I didn't drink on Monday or Wednesday this week. I had a glass
Did
of
you
wine.
not?
I didn't. I had a glass of wine with what's his name, Ed, last night.
But of course he didn't drink on Monday and Wednesday. He didn't have to put up with me.
There you go. There you go.
There it is. There it is.
Right. Anyway.
I kind of don't want to go, but I know
Thank
we're
you,
on
Funk.
the high, so we kind of have to.
Yeah. No, it's been good. It's been good. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not been good. It never is. It's been great
Lovely.
for you.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this